Hey everyone, welcome back to Alleyways, or if it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and if you haven't already, please make sure to join the Alleyways family, subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn on post notifications, not only so you know when I have new content, but also so I can include you in my subscriber shout out. This is my sister Courtney.
Hi!
We are here today doing one of the things we love most, talking about Disney, so we're going to be doing that together today, and at the end of the video, we are going to be shouting out some very special subscribers, so make sure you stay tuned until the end in case that's you. Okay, this video idea was yours, and it's a really good video idea.
Yes, I'm super excited to do this one.
I am too. Tell the peeps what we're doing.
So today we're going to be talking about the worst reviewed restaurants that we tried while we were in Disney World.
And we tried some of the ones that get the most brutal reviews.
Yeah, these are ones that people really just don't seem to care for. They've had a lot of negativity associated with them. And so we tried a few of these out just to see what we thought and tell you guys about our experiences.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Let's get started. All right, Court, you want to kick things off?
Yes. So the first one I wanted to talk about was Chef Mickey's. Now, Chef Mickey's is really, really popular, but every time I've seen a review of it, people complain about the food not being very good, the service not being good, the character interaction being lacking, and just like I said, there's a lot of negativity with it.
I've heard so many negative things about Chef Mickey's.
Yeah, and
because even when you said you were going, I was surprised. I was like, I'm surprised because you always go to the best places.
Well, that's what I really wanted to be able to take Evangeline to a character breakfast. And as you all know right now, the character breakfast and all character interaction is really limited because of the pandemic. And so your options are pretty limited for a character breakfast. So, Crystal Palace, for example, is closed right now, 1900 Park Fair, Tusker House. So you're really limited on character breakfast options. This time we were staying at the Contemporary, and I thought, this makes the most sense to do Chef Mickey's because we're going to be right there. And also, Evangeline loves the Fab Five characters.
Yes, she's a big fan.
Yeah, and so I thought, well, she's gonna love seeing Mickey and Donald and all the gang. So I thought, let's just do it. Let's give it a try. And we were really lucky where we were able to get a reservation. And so I wasn't too concerned about anything except her experience with the characters.
And she was born in October of 2019, and so just going to Disney was going to be huge for her.
Yes.
Because we've just been home, and so we knew no matter what, for her it would be fun, even if you knew maybe it wasn't the best experience there was. But
for her, I knew it was going to be great. I mean, one of the only places that she's ever been is the fabric store. And when we went there, she loved it. She was so excited. And I thought, if she loved the fabric store this much, then seeing Mickey and Minnie is going to be unbelievable to her.
I feel for these pandemic babies. I really do.
I know, it's sad.
So let's talk about Chef Mickey's.
Okay, so we went to breakfast there that morning, and right off the bat, the restaurant is really, really big, which people had talked about. I liked that it was big. I felt it was a nice layout, and also because of social distancing within the restaurant, it was nice. I didn't feel too close to anyone at all. So
felt very safe.
Yeah, it did. It felt really safe. It was very, very clean in there. And our server was fantastic. She was so kind and so attentive. She was just wonderful. And I've seen a lot of people complain about the service there, and we had a fantastic experience with our server. She was wonderful. She was sweet.
She was great with Evangeline.
She really was. She really tried to make it a great experience for our family. And so I appreciated so much all the work that she put into making it a wonderful experience. And when just observing other servers and tables, I felt like every server I saw interacting with guests was great.
Yeah.
Super friendly, really nice, attentive, and very, their service was quick too.
Yeah.
I didn't feel rushed at all. Because that's another thing people have complained about, is that the service is rushed, and I didn't feel that way at all. So I thought, first off the bat, service, fantastic.
That's really good. And you all were already there. I was still at home. Y'all were sending photos of the food.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The food looked amazing.
Yes, it did. That's another thing
good?
a lot of people have said is like the food is very pedestrian, it's mediocre at best, and the food was awesome. It was
so good.
absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care for cafeteria style scrambled eggs. You know,
me
usually
either.
they're very dry and bland and just not good. They have a strange texture. The scrambled eggs they brought out were delicious. They were really moist. They tasted fresh. Everything we had tasted fresh. Nothing tasted like it had been sitting under a heat lamp or was improperly prepared or nothing was too dry or old. Everything tasted fresh, it was hot, and it was delicious.
It all looked so good.
It was so good. So some of the highlights of the meal were definitely, I thought the eggs were wonderful. And so did Evangeline. She loved them.
Yeah, she ate a lot at that breakfast.
She ate and ate and ate.
Yeah.
Evangeline definitely approved of it.
Yeah.
Then the banana bread French toast. Oh my gosh. Why is everybody not going nuts for this?
Yeah.
It is so good.
I think people have a tendency with Disney to get stuck on things they hear other people talking
Yes.
about, like Tonga toast. And so everybody talks about it, and it might be delicious, but then I think sometimes by the time you get to it, you're like, this is what everyone was talking about. And then there's things like this that are amazing that no one talks about.
I know, I'm like, why is everybody not talking about this all the time? It was so good. I could have happily just gorged myself on nothing but that.
Yeah.
But everything was good. So we tried the brisket, and I am not a big brisket fan. I usually think it's too dry and kind of weirdly stringy and can be fatty. And so I wasn't even gonna try it, but my husband tried it and he was like, this brisket is delicious, you have to have a bite. I was like, okay. And it was
good.
Awesome. Yes, it wasn't stringy, it wasn't fatty. It was just like delicious, smoky, well prepared, like a very nice slice.
That sounds
of
good.
meat. It was good.
And they had a big selection too of food.
Oh my gosh, it was a huge variety of food because they started with a bread service, and I would say that was the most mediocre thing that I had was like the beginning bread service, but even that, they brought out these little things that it was like a fritter, like a breakfast fritter.
That sounds good.
It was awesome. It was just like a little fried dough that was coated in sugar, and it was awesome. It tasted kind of like a sweet hush puppy, but made with flour instead of cornmeal.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But they brought out like a strawberry roll that kind of tasted like a Parker House roll or maybe a King's Hawaiian strawberry flavor. That was only okay. Every other thing I had was awesome.
Yeah, and that's just the bread service.
Yeah, exactly. And who cares? I mean, there's so much food. So the fruit was good and fresh. The parfaits, we tried about it. That Evangeline loved that. She ate a lot of that. And then, I mean, we had a Mickey celebration pancake. I actually didn't get any of that because Evangeline ate most of it.
It looked good.
It looked delicious, and apparently it was because she ate it like crazy. The bacon was really good and crispy. Like I said, the eggs were great. The chicken sausage, really, really good. And brisket, awesome. That banana bread French toast was
not to be missed.
Absolutely killer. You cannot miss that. And then the other thing that I really, really loved, Mickey waffles.
Mickey waffles.
Okay, everybody like goes crazy about those all the time.
Yeah.
And I've had them before, and I'm like, whatever, it's a waffle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying, I didn't think it was bad or anything, but I
Yeah.
was like, it's a waffle, whatever. No, that was again something that George was like, Court, you have to try it.
Because it was so good.
Yes, and I wasn't going to try it because I was like, I know what a waffle tastes like.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you have to try it. And I tried it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this
so
is why everybody talks about these all the time.
Because it's that good.
Oh my gosh, it is that good. I didn't even put syrup on it.
Yeah.
You don't even need syrup on it.
And that's
It is
saying
that
something
good.
because we're sauce people.
Yes,
We're
like
big.
things
We love
saucy.
condiments. We love sauce.
Yes,
and
we
so
do.
That's a big statement coming from us, especially.
Yes, it was absolutely delicious. I'm like, when can I have another Mickey waffle?
So it sounds like to me like you liked the ambiance.
Yeah, it
you
was
had good
fun.
service and good food.
Yes, and also the character interaction.
That's the thing I was gonna say.
Yeah, so this was another thing that people had talked about, and I don't know you know, because I haven't dined in here before the pandemic, and obviously the interaction is a bit more limited because of social distancing, but the characters came out over and over and over again. Like, we saw them so many times, and they, you know, they maintain their distance, but they still try to have a special interaction with the kids, and it was so sweet. Evangeline had the sweetest interaction with Donald Duck, and it was she loves Donald, and it was so precious. It like brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah, and the video of it after, we all loved so much. And I was really glad because I was worried.
Yeah.
Because y'all were doing the character breakfast, and we all know character breakfast is expensive.
Yeah, it's an
expense. And you're paying, I mean, the food is great, the service is great, the ambiance is great, and that alone, I'm sure, made you feel like, well, the cost was worth it. But the character interaction is really why you choose to do that. And during a pandemic, you think, well, is it worth it? But she had so many special moments.
She did.
Where she was so happy.
Well, that's what I did deliberate over doing a character breakfast at all because of the limited interaction. I was like, is it worth it? And I decided to just go for it. And I'm so glad I did, because even if everything else had been mediocre, the way that she got to interact with the characters would have made everything worth it. Yeah. But it was great on top of all of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, she got to see them multiple times. They really make an effort to try to have individual interactions with the kids from a distance. And actually, it was great. I didn't know this. Everybody had said it's the Fab Five, and that normally includes Pluto. Pluto was actually...
I'm gonna go grab Izzy. Sorry, she's going crazy.
Pluto was actually not there that day, and they had Daisy Duck instead, which was a perfect swap for Evangeline because she loves Daisy.
That's like one of her favorite characters.
Yeah, Daisy is one of her favorites, and so that actually was great. So we got to see Daisy that day. So if you all go, you might see Daisy instead of Pluto, or maybe she'll be out there with all the rest too.
Well,
but it was nice, and people have also said it was loud. I mean, I didn't really feel that way. It was, I'm not saying it was quiet, but I didn't feel like it was disruptive
Which is also saying something because Courtney wore earplugs to all of our sports games growing up.
Yes, and I wear them on the rides.
Yeah, so if she's saying that.
I don't like loud things at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it was too loud in there or anything. It was just a wonderful experience.
Well, there you have it. Chef Mickey's has been maligned.
Yes, it is definitely worth going to. So
right.
I loved it.
Well, I can't wait to try it.
Yes.
Next, I want to talk about a place that I have heard nothing but trash talk about.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I'm going to preface everything I'm saying. I planned a trip with a couple of my girlfriends 2 weeks before. It was a totally spontaneous last-minute trip. It was a random idea that my friend Chavi had for us to go, so we didn't have any reservations. We couldn't get any reservations because it was so last minute. People plan these things so far in advance.
Well, and reservations are really limited right now because of the limited seating capacity.
Right. And so we knew going in that we wouldn't be able to eat at all the best places, but we were like, we're just going to be happy to be there. We're going to find stuff that we love, and we packed a ton of snacks. So we knew we would be fine no matter what. That being said, my friends really wanted to eat pizza at the park. And they are not, we're Disney people. We watch all of the Disney vlogs and channels and read the blogs. My friends are not. They like Disney, but they're not.
They're not like die-hard Disney people.
Yes. So they found out about Pinocchio's Village House. And we're like, well, let's go there for lunch. We want pizza. It sounds so good. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do I tell them? And I've never eaten there, not as an adult. I can remember it as a kid.
We went there. We would usually go there when you were a kid, but you know, they change the menu at these places pretty frequently. And then you never know too with Disney how consistent things are going to be, because that's one of the big things with Disney restaurants is they can be a bit inconsistent.
Right. And when we were younger, there wasn't blogs and everything like that. You just kind of went where you went. And now watching vlogs and reading, all I hear is how terrible it is. It is always listed as one of the worst restaurants. It's, you know, people say it's loud, it's too big, the food's disgusting. It's just a place you totally want to skip. And so when the girls wanted to go there, I told them, oh, well, it doesn't really have good reviews, but there was nowhere else we could go. We were just trying to rush around, so we decided to go. So I ordered the pepperoni pizza. The girls got the margarita, which I would have gotten except I don't like balsamic very
Oh, yeah.
much, which I probably could have asked without it, but again, we were in a hurry. And so I just thought, well, whatever, we'll go. All that being said, first of all, I really like it inside Pinocchio's village house.
I think it's cute.
I think it's so
really
cute.
well themed.
I do too. I think it's really well themed.
Yeah, you feel like you're in like a little German village.
You absolutely do. I thought it was very picturesque and sweet. It was clean.
Yes.
There was tons of space. It was not like other restaurants where everyone was trying to get in. We had so many empty tables around us, kind of like at Chef Mickey's. There was plenty of room, I guess because nobody else wants to eat there. But there was outside seating that was really nice. There was indoor seating. The service there, everybody was really sweet. And my flatbread was good. I don't know what I expected, but I thought it was going to be disgusting.
Yeah, you probably thought it was going to be like cardboard. Because I've heard people say that a lot, that Disney pizza is like cardboard. And I will say, a lot of Disney pizza is not good. Like those, like Pizzerizzo, the puffy kind of pizza isn't good. It doesn't have very much sauce on it.
Right.
It's kind of flavorless. But the flatbread.
The flatbread was good. It was good because it was really hot, and I just wanted something that was light, and it was really thin. It had plenty of sauce, and the cheese and the pepperoni felt high quality, and the girls' food looked delicious, and it tasted great. It tasted really great. It was a nice light lunch. My flatbread was enough to fill me up, and I'm not somebody who really eats thin pizza because I can eat and eat and eat it, but I was full. I really liked the ambiance inside. Everybody was sweet. It was quick, and I felt like I got a lot of food for the price that I paid, and I would go back there again.
Yeah.
It was so easy, affordable.
So if you can't get reservations, you know, don't worry. That's a big thing I think a lot of people worry about, is that maybe if you can't get certain reservations, you won't have as good of an experience. And
I worried about that.
Yeah.
I was worried. I thought, well, my Disney trip's not going to be as magical because I'm not going to go to all the places everybody talks about. You're so right. So don't be afraid of Pinocchio's.
Yes, because I like you said, the theming in there is very, very cute. And so I think it's a fun place to eat for theming alone, because it is, like I said, it feels so quaint, and it does feel like you're in like a little old-timey German village.
I agree. And the food was good. And the price was great. So
win-win.
Win-win. All right, next you have one that I've been really curious about.
Yes. San Angel Inn. So this has a terrible reputation. It's kind of notorious for the food not being good, the service being terrible, it's too dark in there, it's way overpriced. Yeah. And just that the menu's not good. And I will tell you, George has been just dying to eat in there because it's inside the Mexico Pavilion. It's right beside the Grand Fiesta Tour ride, and he just thought it would be super neat to be able to eat there. And I agree, the location is awesome, but every time I've looked at the menu, I'm like, this sounds terrible to me. It just doesn't sound good.
Because you didn't want to go, and he really wanted to.
I didn't want to go.
You surprised him with that reservation.
I did. I decided to surprise him and get us a reservation there. And I can't say I was excited about going. I was excited about surprising him, but I was like, we'll just do this because I wanted to do something that would be like a nice,
his Disney magic.
Yes, I was like, he deserves to have some, like, an experience that he really wants to have, and so I thought it'd be a fun surprise, and it was a fun surprise for him.
Yeah.
But like I said, looking at the menu, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get here because none of this sounds good. And it's like every entree, when I read it, I was like, why would they put this on here?
Yeah.
It's like there's always some ingredient on the thing there. I was like, why would you add this? I'm like, that just doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So we went, and I have heard people complain about the difficulty getting into the restaurant, actually. And the thing is, if you have a reservation at San Angel Inn, there's actually a specific place outside the Mexico Pavilion where you check in. You don't have to wait in the line to get into the pavilion to check in for San Angel Inn. So just so you know, if you do go, there is a podium outside the Mexico Pavilion where you can check in, and you don't wait in the long line to get in there to the restaurant. So
That sounds easy.
it was easy. There wasn't a wait to get into the pavilion that day anyway, so we didn't even have to use that, but just so you know,
Yeah.
you don't have to wait. So that wasn't any trouble at all. As far as the ambiance, that is one of the coolest places to eat in Disney as far as ambiance goes. I mean, you are inside of this pavilion, which makes you feel like you are like
There.
at a street fair in Mexico at night.
Yes.
I just love the interior of that building. It's beautiful and relaxing. It's air conditioned, which is huge.
Yes.
And it's dark in there, you know, because it's supposed to be at night. And you're right beside the river ride, the Grand Fiesta Tour, and we got the best seat. They put us at a table right beside the water.
Oh,
so we were
cool.
right on the gate that faces the water, and it was awesome. You couldn't ask for a better spot.
Yeah.
We got so lucky with that. And
They're
I
just
didn't even
Disney
request
magic.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
it was his Disney magic.
Yeah.
So to start with, they bring you out chips and salsa. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we love chips and salsa, and we're picky about our chips and salsa.
I love chips and salsa. This was exceptionally delicious.
What was it like?
So it was like they used a special seasoning on the tortilla chips. They were really crispy, and the thickness of them, it was like a different thickness than I normally have. It was a little bit thicker than normal tortilla chips. But it was
House-made.
super crispy. Yes, I asked them because when I tasted it, it tasted so different from anything else I'd ever had. And same with the salsa. The salsa tasted different. I mean, it tastes like salsa, but it was different and it was so fresh. And so I asked the waitress if it was made in-house, and she said it was, and you can tell.
Because it's really good.
It was wonderful. I was like, oh my gosh.
Was
this
the
is
salsa
great.
thick or thin? And was it smoky or spicy?
It was just a little hint of spice, not enough to be off-putting, I think, for people who are spice averse, but just enough to give it good flavor.
That's nice.
It was just kind of the right balance, I think, between thick and thin. It was more towards the thinner side, but it was so good in those tortilla chips. I would have eaten the tortilla chips plain.
Yeah.
Because they had, I don't know what kind of seasoning they had on it. It was lightly seasoned, but enough that it gave it a great flavor. I was like, what did they do to this?
That
This
sounds
is
good.
wonderful. It was so good. Our server was very sweet, really friendly, and I ended up ordering the enchiladas because that to me was the most palatable
Option.
option on the menu. And I love Mexican food. It was
Love
it was combinations I'm not accustomed to.
Right.
So
it's just difficult to know how to order.
yes, exactly. So I got the enchiladas, and Meredith and I actually split them. We decided beforehand, I was like, well, let's not get too full because we're in Epcot and
You're going to want to eat a bunch of different
yeah,
things.
exactly. You know, you're going to want to try a whole bunch of things. And so Meredith, Evangeline and I split it. And then George also got the enchiladas.
So it's a big portion.
well,
Because we're not very good
well,
sharers.
this is the thing. It's always dicey to split things.
Yeah.
It always is. This was enormous. I couldn't even finish my part. So Mara and I split it, and then I gave some of mine to Evangeline, and I couldn't even eat that portion of mine. So we ended up I gave the rest of mine to George.
Yeah.
And I gave some extra to Mare. And it was delicious. I was so pleasantly surprised at how good it was. It was good. The portion was huge. Everything tasted high quality. I'm pretty particular about chicken. I really don't want to encounter anything other than just
Meat.
white meat.
Yeah.
Only white meat.
We like our chicken very clean.
Yeah, I don't want to encounter any weird, like, fatty pieces or etc.
Yes.
I didn't. Every bite I had was delicious. It was really good. The sauce that they had on top was awesome.
Was it red or green?
It was green. And I'm normally green salsas are a little plus or minus for me. They can be a little bit too tangy, but this was delicious. It was so good. The cheese, they loaded it with cheese on the top, and it was awesome, delicious and melty, and so flavorful.
That sounds good.
Yeah, everything I had was very flavorful. And Evangeline loved it, Mare loved it, George loved it. We all thought it was delicious.
Did it come with rice or beans?
No, it didn't.
Just the enchiladas. But it was so big.
You know,
and then you had the chips and salsa.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, too, it didn't come with rice or beans, but I think it had, because the enchiladas were like almost sitting on top of refried beans or something.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like sitting on top of refried beans. So I guess it did come with that. And then
That's
that was
nice.
the other thing too. Everything came with plantains, and I was like, I don't want plantains with this.
Yeah.
I don't want some weird banana tasting thing with my Mexican food.
Yeah.
But it was great. I ate plantain and I was like, this is good. I don't know why I was complaining. It's really good.
Well, I think that's really, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm loving so far about the videos. It just opens up the options for you.
Yes,
Where
it
you don't have to be
does.
bummed in advance if you can't get the reservation.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds good.
It was really good, and I was able to get it last minute. And I can't speak to other things on the menu because we all only tried the enchiladas. But if you go and just get those, they're
that
awesome.
good.
They were so good. It was huge. It was filling.
Yeah.
And like I said, our ambiance was unbeatable.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, people have complained that it's dark in there.
Yeah.
And it is. It's
So if y'all
dark.
go, bust out your flashlight and
Yes.
let us know if that's refried beans under that enchilada.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I was kind of like, what's going on here? Because it is dark. And it wasn't
It's
like
romantic.
It is very romantic. If it's just like a couple going, you're gonna have an incredible time.
Yeah. So 2 thumbs up for
Yeah,
San Antonio.
definitely. And a lot of people have said it's not very kid friendly, but they were great with Evangeline. They brought her out crayons, and she was happy. So I think it went well. The only thing, like I said, the only 2 things that I will speak to are, it is very, very dark. It's not something I would strike against it, but it is very dark. I think it's relaxing.
Yeah.
But it is dark, and our server was very nice, but once she brought our food to us, we really didn't see her again, and we had been finished for quite a while, and we were still kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
kind of would like to get our checks so we can hustle, because
On to
we're
other
always
things.
in a hurry at Disney. We're trying to cram as much into a day as we can. So
Yeah.
that was the only thing that I would say was a little bit negative. It's not enough to say not to go there or to give it a terrible reputation though.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up then.
Yes, definitely. Great experience.
Break your heart. Okay, so the last restaurant we're going to talk about is one that I went to that I have heard nothing but bad things about. I even referenced this on my vlog.
Nothing but trash.
Nothing but trash talk about Tony's. So, like
Tony's
I
downstairs.
said, the girls really, really don't watch any kind of Disney anything, like we do. And they wanted to do one sit-down dinner while we were in Disney on our last night, and we were looking the morning of our last day, and all that was available was Tony's.
Well, and you tried to do walk-up lists too.
Oh,
and
we tried.
They didn't have an availability
everything.
for walk-up list either.
We tried absolutely everything, and so they were just insistent on going to Tony's, and I really did not want to because of all the reviews, and I thought, it's a sit-down, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to spend a ton of money on something that's not gonna
Bad.
be good.
And then just take that time.
Yeah.
Although our reservation was for 7:45 and the park closed at 8. And so
That
I
was
thought,
actually
well,
perfect.
yeah, at least I won't be spending way too much time. So I went, and I loved it. All I heard was that the ambiance was bad, the service was bad, the food was terrible.
Yeah, the tomato sauce tastes like it came out of a can.
Yeah.
Everything's flavorless.
Everything's dated, it's kind of dirty. And so I went very begrudgingly, and we had the best time. First of all, I think the building itself is beautiful, and inside was really nice. There's all the Lady and the Tramp stuff, and I just think the restaurant itself, like I said, is really beautiful. It feels a little dated, but in a good way. It reminds me of Italian restaurants when I was growing up.
Oh,
how they were themed.
Yeah, so it's kind of nostalgic in that way.
It is nostalgic in that way. And then I thought it was really nice to eat dinner on Main Street.
Now, being able to eat on Main Street is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of unbeatable.
Yeah, it's a really magical experience.
It is, for sure.
It was really convenient. We didn't have trouble getting a reservation. Our server was really sweet. His name was Paul. He did a great job. He was really sweet and accommodating. The service was quick. The bread service was delicious.
That's what I was going to ask about, the bread service, kind of what it was and how it was.
It's a focaccia, and it's not as good as the one in Animator's Palette, but bread service in Disney feels like such a luxury.
Oh my gosh,
it feels so nice just to have bread brought out to you when you're really hungry and tired.
So you don't have to wait for your entree to come out.
The olive oil was really good. The bread was really nice. It was crispy and crunchy on the outside with rosemary and some sea salt, and then it was light and fluffy on the inside. It was great. I ordered the spaghetti and meatballs, and the portion was enormous. Easily could have been split between 3 people.
Oh wow, that is a big portion.
I was really hungry, and I ate a quarter of mine, and so that was saying something.
How was the tomato sauce? Because that's like
great.
one thing I had heard bad things about.
Yeah. I just sounded like that bueno. It was great. Apparently it was great. But it's true. It was really good. The tomato sauce was delicious. I ordered extra sauce. Like I said earlier,
that's a smart idea.
We're sauce people.
Yes.
I ordered extra sauce, which they didn't charge me extra for.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I thought was really cool. But the sauce had a great taste. It didn't taste homemade, but it didn't taste like it came out of a can. It had a really nice flavor. They gave me a ton of it. The meatballs were delicious. Those did taste homemade.
That's what I was going to ask. How was the quality of the meat and the meatball?
The quality of the meat was really great. It was seasoned really nicely. They were it was a big portion. They gave you 2, and I didn't even finish 1. And then I will say everything together tasted delicious, and it was piping hot.
Oh, that's nice.
Everything was piping hot. They put tons of Parmesan cheese on the top.
Ooh, can't go wrong with that.
Out of a grater, which I just love.
Yes, freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
Yes. They're like, tell me when to stop. I'm like, you'll just have to, you just have to stop.
It's going to be a while.
Yes.
Stop when your hand starts cramping.
Yes. And maybe still goes in. But it was through the pain. Yes. And so the girls got the spaghetti and meatballs too. Chavi obviously was eating the Beyond, or whatever the meat substitute was there. Yeah. Everybody loved it. Good reviews all around. Great service. The girls got tiramisu for dessert and loved it. Amazing ambiance. And then it was really cool because we were on Main Street as the park was closing.
Oh,
so
that's so nice.
It was really nice. As we left, we were able to go out on Main Street and take photos under the marquee with an empty park, and it was the perfect way to end our trip.
I think that sounds really nice. And Main Street at night is extra beautiful.
It is.
So I think that if you're going to eat there, it sounds like a perfect time to go.
It was. And there was plenty to split. It was a great experience. So stop the hate on Tony's.
It was a good value.
It was a really good value. And so I think overall, something that I've learned just from our past trip and us sitting down and talking about this is decide for yourself. Yes. Everybody has opinions online, but we all have different palates. And I think really what you said earlier is true. Overall at Disney, you're going to have a good experience. It's going to be magical. And I really didn't have anything bad on my trip.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised even by the places that I wasn't expecting to be pleasantly surprised by. I thought okay, well, whatever, we'll just do this and it'll be fine. And it was actually a great experience. Yeah, so have you guys eaten at these restaurants before? Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know how your experience was. And 2, I'm curious for other restaurants that have a bad reputation. You guys tell us if there were any places that you were pleasantly surprised by.
Yeah, we want to know because we are dying to go back already.
Oh, I know. As soon as we left, we were ready to go back
Yes, again. And so we want to try all those places. So I'm really curious to see, what restaurants or even food items that you've tried.
Yeah, and I think, too, we should do one for things that we tried that are a bit overrated.
Do you guys want to see us do that? Let us know in the comments down below. But for now, we want to shout out 2 very special subscribers. We want to say hello and thank you to
Kennedy Shelley
and Christina Hill. So Kennedy, you've actually been on the live chats with us lately, on premieres, commenting on videos. I am so happy you're part of the family and just jumping in there. You have already added so much sunshine to the group. And Christina is planning a trip, I think she said with her daughter. And watched the Disney vlogs and was getting really excited. So
I'm so excited for you guys.
We're really, really
and
excited.
jealous.
I know. Maybe we'll see you there if we end up going back. But thank you for watching and being so sweet. And Courtney, thanks for doing this video with me.
Yeah, it was fun.
I know. I want to just go to San Helen and bust out my flashlight. Maybe an enchilada.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
And it is a great date night spot too, may I just say.
Yep. Well, we're going to go back and try them all.
Yes.
But until then, we can't wait to see you next time right here on Alleyways.
Bye.